Heidi ho there, my lovies. Welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn, and a few weeks ago I told you that I was keeping a secret. Yeah, keeping a secret because my little niece Cookie, well, she's not so little, she's 21. She got engaged this weekend. So her boyfriend, now fiance Chris, came over to the house a couple of weeks ago with a huge bouquet of yellow roses to ask permission to marry Cookie. It was so sweet. It just touched my heart. And anyhow, I just adore him, and I just am so excited for the two of them to share their lives together. And anyhow, she said yes. They got an Airbnb up near the Grand Canyon, and she didn't know what was going on. It was all a secret proposal. So they got an Airbnb with some friends up at the Grand Canyon, and they went to the Grand Canyon, and they're looking, and anyhow, and then he gets down on one knee and he proposes to her, and it is so sweet. Anyhow, he had all of their friends and loved ones do a short, less than 30-second video clip counting down the days to their engagement. So, someone was number 30. Hi, Chris and Julian. Congratulations. It's 30 days to your engagement. Anyhow, they had this video, and he showed it to her and then asked if she would marry him, and it was just precious. Here's a photo of Julian and Chris getting engaged at the Grand Canyon. I think that's a beautiful photo, and I think it's just, oh, my heart. So for those of you who don't know, in our household, we have 3 adults, myself, Andrew, and my younger sister, Melissa. Melissa is Julian, aka Cookie's mom, and I have called her Cookie since she was born because everyone gets a little nickname. And so, yeah, Cookie. She's all grown up. She's going to get married. And I am trying really hard not to beg her for grandbabies because I don't have any children. So she has always been like my substitute, adopted kind of child. And I spoil her rotten. I still do. And I can't wait to spoil her babies. But I'm trying not to pressure her too much because I know when I got married, that's all anybody ever talked about. When are you going to have babies? When are you going to have babies? Yeah, they were not in the cards for Andrew and I. Part of my condition is a little bit of fertility problems. So we didn't have any babies, but I can't wait to squeeze up Julian's. I'm going to squeeze them so hard. Anyhow, she hasn't been over since the engagement. They're still up at the Grand Canyon, so I cannot squeeze her, but I am hoping to see her tomorrow and give her great big squeezes. Anyhow, she sent me this photo. I'll show you of Chris down on one knee proposing to her, and she called and told me about it, and yeah, and it just, oh my goodness, I just cried. I ugly cried because I was so touched. So yeah, that is my big news, my big secret that I've been keeping, much better than the secrets other people tell me. I don't hardly anybody ever has me keep a good secret. It's always something terrible. And this one, it just, every time I saw her, okay, you can't say anything. You can't say, don't be a spoiler. And you're going to the Grand Canyon. Well, good for you. I hope you have a wonderful trip. Yada, yada, yada. Do you need anything? Here's a little bit of spending money. Here you go. And yeah, I love to spoil her rotten. I always have. Absolutely. And yeah, when she was little, I would take her to the movies. And Shorty, you want to go to the movies? Yes, baby, come on, I will go to the movies with you. Now, the big problem with going to a movie for me is that as soon as the advertisements and the credits roll and we're 15 minutes into whatever movie, the Minions, that's what it usually was, the Minions. Anyhow, that's it. I'm asleep. I'm fast asleep, and I'm snoring, and she would hold my hand. I'm like, Cookie, you just hold my hand, we'll be all right. And she would, Aunt Shorty, you're snoring too loud. She'd tap me and tell me, you got to wake up a little bit. And I would wake up, and inevitably there would be about 10 runs to the bathroom, and in between I'm just snoozing away. And still to this day I can hardly make it through a movie if I'm sitting on that couch and I'm all relaxed and yeah, the fan's blowing on me and what, that's it. I'm done. It takes me like 3 tries to make it through an entire movie. Andrew hates it, but you know, he just sits there, he watches the whole thing, and I put my feet up on his lap, and that's it. I'm done. I'm sleeping. But yeah, absolutely. My little cookie got engaged. I'm so excited for her. I'm super thrilled. Anyhow, yeah, they're gonna post the video of the 30-day countdown to her engagement over on the TikTok, and when it's up and ready, I'll link it so you can go over there and take a look. It's so precious. God bless them. And I hope the best for everything, for their lives together. And I'm just so excited to have a new brother-in-law, a new nephew-in-law. That's what it is. Yeah, there's a lot of us. It's hard to keep the family relation straight, but he would be a new nephew-in-law. And I'm going to squeeze my lap. Hot diggity. But we got to get down to dinner because I'm starving to death. So what's for dinner? It's the never-ending question every day. What's for dinner? When we were kids and we would ask my mom or my dad what was for dinner, my dad would always say fish heads and rice. And honestly, that sounds all right. That sounds pretty good to me. But tonight we're going to be having chicken chili bake. And so I've got some shredded chicken. Yay, great. Got that out of my freezer from a previous go around. So that is going to go in the bottom of this baking dish. And this is a small baking dish because nobody's here except for Andrew and I. So this will be 4 portions. Can we talk about portion size for a second? Someone in my comments said that my meal would not serve 6 people. Well, it really depends on your portion size and how much you serve. Everybody's portion size is slightly different because everybody eats a little bit differently. Now, we try to eat a little bit less. We try to follow the nutritional guidelines. I'm not saying that you don't, but everybody has different portion size. Maybe you're taller people. Maybe you work hard and you have, a physical kind of a job. Well, we don't have a physical kind of a job. Andrew does a little bit of software development, a little bit of contract work, and I do YouTube. Melissa, she works in the legal field. Anyhow, yeah, we don't have physical jobs, and we're all a little bit smaller, so our portion size is different than what other people might eat. Just simply, and there's nothing wrong with that, baby. I'm not judging. If you don't think it'll feed 6 people, well, you add whatever you need to. You're making it for yourself. That's fine. I'm not judging. You got to feed your family any way you want to, and I'll never tell you that it's wrong. Yeah. I don't always have to be right. It's an epidemic, in my opinion. People, the cost of being right. Yeah, I've been wrong before. Didn't kill me. I'll be wrong again. But don't tell Andrew. He doesn't need to know that, because as far as he's concerned, I have always been right and will always be right. So yeah, that makes our marriage happy. So I got this chicken, the shredded chicken. I have some Mrs. Dash Southwest Chipotle seasoning, salt-free. Yay, hooray. I am going to put 2 teaspoons of that in here. Just to give it a little zing, a little zip. Hot dog. I like it. I have some granulated garlic. Hello, Gilroy. I always say hello to Gilroy because that is one strong smell in town. They grow a lot of the nation's garlic, and they deserve all of the hellos that they can get. Thank you so much for garlic. I appreciate it. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of the granulated garlic to that. A lot of black pepper because we love it. That's the thing. These are just jumping off points. You take these recipes or these ideas, this inspiration, and you do with it whatever you want. Mix that up together. Ooh, I got a runner. There we go. I have 1 can of Great Value mixed chili beans. if I can get it open. All right, there we go. I'm going to put everything in here, including all of the juice, because that has a lot of seasoning in it, and that is just going to be terrific. Yippee skippy. Yay, hooray. I'm going to make sure I get them all. I paid for them all. I want to use them. How are y'all doing today? What's new and exciting with you? I'm going to go ahead and layer these chili beans on top of that chicken as evenly as possible. Get some into the corners. The corners are my favorite part. Okay, I also have a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. These are not very spicy, but they are well seasoned. They're not very spicy chilies, in my opinion. Oh, well, that can was much easier. That's good. Hey, hey, now. I'm going to pour that all over the top. Kind of like a 5-layer dip. That, you know, you buy that at the grocery store. Maybe you make it, and it's got all the good layers in it. And, you know, it's that Mexican style dip. That's yummy. Yummy. I have a little bit of canned corn. Now, this is left over from a recipe last week that I made where I did not use all of my canned corn. And so, you know, I just had a little aluminum foil on it and kept it in the refrigerator. So I want to make sure that I get that used up today because it's a use it or lose it kind of situation. And I think the canned corn will be just fine. You know, if I had frozen or I had fresh, that would be just fine. But sometimes you just need something quick and easy, and 15 minutes and you're done. Now this is going to take a little bit longer than 15 minutes because I am going to put it in the Easy Bake Oven to bake for about 30 minutes. I'm probably going to bake it at about 375 degrees. None of the things in here are potentially hazardous because that chicken has already been cooked. And yeah, we just need a good warm through. We need a little melting action, and that's going to be fantastic there. All right. I didn't get my cheese out. I'm a slacker. I'm going to go get my cheese out, and I'll be right back in a minute. We're going to put some cheese on this, and the final touches, get this in the Easy Bake Oven, and yeah, that's going to be dinner. But it looks good. It looks good so far. I like all the layers. That looks fantastic. So, ooh, it smells good too. Can't beat that with a stick. I was looking in the refrigerator. I found this little teeny tiny bit of pickled jalapenos. I'm going to go ahead and add those because we like it. I like it hot. These are not very spicy. I find usually that the pickled jalapenos have a little bit of bite, but aren't super spicy. And I'm not going to let these get all clumped up together. I'm going to spread them out throughout my bake. Now, bake is a casserole. But if I tell Andrew that we're having a casserole, he will throw an absolute fit because he does not like a casserole. If I tell him that it's a bake, you know, that's fine. It's all about the spin with him. I tell him he is on a need-to-know basis. I'm telling you what. All right. So we got a little bit of pickled jalapeno in there. Just about enough in every bite. A couple of little bits of spice. I also found some black olives. I usually buy my black olives in a can when they are on sale, and they were like 6 for $5 or something like that a couple of weeks back. So I loaded up on black olives. They are my favorite. And I like to eat black olives and pickles and what have you. Anything pickled or brined, I like to eat that at about 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm having a hot flash. And yeah, I don't know. Have a little bit of, I like to sip on a little bit of pickle juice sometimes. Anyhow, yeah, menopause. It's honestly, it's the best time of my whole life. Yeah, I'm just enjoying every bit of it. But let me tell you something. It is not fair to have menopause and then still also get a pimple. What the heck is that about? Yeah, that's not fair. That's the pits, man. That's the pits. Yeah, I got that little zit going on. Andrew said, if you don't point it out, nobody will notice. I said, well, you know, I think it's not fair. And this is a real life channel. I got a zit. I got, you know, stray pork chops sometimes hanging out on my front porch. We got all the things. Anyhow, so my little cookie is engaged. I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to throw her an engagement party. And I'm excited to plan that. I don't know if we're going to have it here at the house or if we're going to have another venue. They're planning a long engagement, so I have a little bit of time. But I'll bring you all along because I just love her. I just want to spoil her all up. Anyhow, yeah, she's engaged. I remember when Andrew proposed to me, he was so nervous, and that's not the right lid. Oh, that goes on the jalapeno. I may or may not save this jar. I have a lot of jars in this size, so if I don't, I'll dump that out, rinse it, and put it into the recycling bin. We try to do the right thing. So there we go. We got some jalapenos and some olives in there. Now I looked in my refrigerator and I thought that I had shredded cheese. I do not have shredded cheese. I do not have my life together. But what I did find in the cabinet was I had this package of cheese sauce. And let me tell you what happened was I had family dinner a couple of months ago and I wasn't going to make a macaroni salad. And then I got a call from my little sister Jackie, and she was begging me for the macaroni salad. Well, I did not have any macaroni. So what I had to do was open 2 boxes of macaroni and cheese, and this is the sauce packet that remained from it. So I stole the macaroni, but I saved the sauce packet, and I'm glad that I did because now I have cheese for my chicken chili bake. You know, I just got to make do. I cannot run over to the grocery store anymore. And I get my groceries delivered, and I don't want to spend $30 today on grocery delivery because that's the minimum. So, you know, we're just using the cheese that we have that came with the macaroni and cheese, and we'll just spread this out. It'll be fun. It'll be a-okay. Not worried about it. I also have some sliced cheese. We're going to be using that too. Because can you have too much cheese? I mean, I guess maybe if you're lactose intolerant, going to get that spread all around. Now this is going to get good and gold and bubbly and delicious. So we're just going to get some in every little bite here. Waste not, want not. There we go. There we go. Get some into the corners. And little Miss Hazel, she's in here. Hi, Hazel. You looking for yum-yums? It's not yum-yum time yet. We're getting there, baby. All right, I also have some sliced cheese. So I have a little bit of mozzarella, and I like to use mozzarella in combination with other cheeses because I like that really good, melty cheese feel that you get with mozzarella, that cheese pull. Yes, please, and thank you. So, put a little bit of the mozzarella on here. So I had a block of cheddar and I sliced it for sandwiches. And then these are like little end pieces that did not slice so well. And I was going to put it in the food processor and give it a zip, zip, zip. But I was too lazy. So I'm just going to crumble them right on top here. It'll be just fine. It'll be fine. Plenty of cheese, plenty of goo. Yay, hooray. Using up things that I had in the refrigerator. Using up the jalapenos. Using up that can of corn. Using that little bit of, you know, cheese packet that got left behind. One more thing that I am using up on this recipe. That's got plenty of cheese. I got it all covered. It's going to be fantastic. All right. One thing else that I'm going to use up is this little tiny bit of tortilla chips. You know, the crumbs that you know, you could have to like pour into your mouth or do something with. Anyhow, these tortilla chips, they were great. They fulfilled their purpose. I'm going to use the rest of these crumbs right on top for that little bit of crunch and yumminess, yay, hooray, nothing wrong with that. If I had some nice Mexican cheese, that I would use that. But I don't, and I'm using what I have in my refrigerator because that's just the way we roll around here. Anyhow, Hazel's begging over here like she's starving to death, like she didn't get breakfast and yum-yums all day long. Oh yeah, she's a pitiful girl. She's a pitiful girl. Anyhow, got that all taken care of. Now, if I wasn't going to use these today, they are right on edge. Like, they might be good for another 2 or 3 days. What I would probably do is put them in a Ziploc and throw them in the freezer and save them for another day. So we've got our crunch factor right on top. This looks like a really good bake to me. Let's see, can we see the layers? Oh yeah, it's got all the layers. Look at that hot diggity. And this is substantial. This is definitely going to serve at least 4 people. Maybe we'll even get a lunch out of it. I don't know. But that's our portion size. Everybody's different. And that's what makes the world go round, baby. It'll be all right. You want to eat the whole thing, you go for it. I'm never going to say no. Maybe you're real hungry. I'm starving to death personally. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this in the Easy Bake Oven. I'm going to give this about 35 minutes at 375 degrees. I want everything to be good and gold and bubbly. I want that cheese melty, and I want some toast on those tortilla. I hate to even call them chips, the tortilla crumbs. Anyhow, let's get down to it. While that bakes, I'm going to go ahead and get everything put away because clean as you go. And then you don't have as much at the end. And after that, I can just watch Jeopardy. And then we can listen to our audiobook. And we've been slacking on our audiobook. So we've got to finish it tonight so that we can get started on another one. I've got it all queued up. So super excited about that. Anyhow, let's get our dishes done. Let's get all of our spices and everything put away hot diggity so that I don't want to have to do it at the end. You know, Julian's engagement really has me thinking about new beginnings. They're so fun. You know, when you're first married and you're young and in love and, you know, you're buying things for your place and you're learning how to live with each other and, you know, your first babies. You know, all those things, all those big life events that are ahead of her. And I'm just pleased as punch. And, you know, when you get older, you still have life changes. And I just sliced a little cucumber here. That's going to be our side dish tonight. Little red wine vinegar and a little bit of pepper. But yeah, changes, life changes. We have them all the time. And you get older and you still have life changes. And you just got to roll with the punches. Isn't that right, Andrew?
That's right.
That's right. Just keep on going every day. Anyhow, I'm so thrilled for her and what life has in store for her. She's my little cookie. How exciting. I'm so excited for her. Anyhow, we're going to have a good dinner tonight. That's smelling fantastic. And I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. Also, I'm watching the morning show on Apple TV. I have my free subscription and I'm just whipping through those shows, just binge watching as much as I can. And I can definitely recommend the morning show. I didn't think it was going to be something that I liked, and I kind of hem-hawed around about watching it. It's got Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. It also has Martin Short, Juliana Margulies. I mean, it is star-studded series on Apple TV, and they didn't spare any expense. Anyhow, it actually has a really good storyline, and it does have foul language. It does have sensitive subjects, alcohol and drug use. Yeah, those kinds of things. So, you know, probably not one to watch with the kids, but it addresses certain topics and subjects that are pertinent today, no matter which side of the aisle you're on, you know. Anyhow, I thought it's an interesting show. It's very entertaining and I am enjoying it. And so if you have the opportunity, go ahead and take a look at that. The morning show on Apple TV. Now on Prime, also available on free TV and what is it? Tubi TV. Those are both free. A show called Packed to the Rafters. And I first clicked on it because I thought it was going to be a show about hoarding because, you know, Andrew and all of his various collections. Clean, I consider us to be clean hoarders. So, you know, there's not piles everywhere, and I try to keep the clutter under control. But his projects and his stuff in every closet, under every bed, you know, places that I wouldn't want them. But, you know, he's got his stuff, and God bless him, I let him have it. Anyhow, but Packed to the Rafters was not a show about hoarding. It was a family drama. It's an Australian drama. And if I have any Australians out there, hey, thank you so much for a great show. Anyhow, I watched the whole series over the weekend, and it was fabulous and entertaining. It's 6 seasons. And yeah, I think that it's really, really good show. Just about regular family and, you know, the ins and outs and the ups and downs and what have you. Anyhow, that is definitely a show worth watching. There is some foul language. There is, like, you know, what I call European nudity, like a little bit of the you know, tuchus showing, or maybe a little bit of side boob, but it's not terribly explicit. Like, you could watch it with your husband and not be embarrassed, but I probably wouldn't watch it with the kids unless they were a little bit older. But yeah, Packed to the Rafters was an excellent show. Season 6 is a little bit sad. There was a reboot in 2021, and it has a totally different vibe. It's called Back to the Rafters. Anyhow, it has a totally different vibe. I didn't dig the reboot. It didn't have the right tone. And in Packed to the Rafters, there is an excellent balance, just like in life, a balance of good things that happen and then terrible things that happen, and, you know, just the way regular life goes. In Back to the Rafters, there's an undertone. Yeah, it was too depressing. I was gonna need a Xanax if I had to watch anymore. Anyhow, yeah, Packed to the Rafters was excellent, and you can find that on free TV or Freevee, whatever it's called, and Tubi, and those are both free. If you're a Prime member, it's on Prime, and both of those are worth watching. The morning show and Packed to the Rafters. Yeah, that's my recommendation. So that's what I did this weekend. I wasn't feeling the greatest, and my feet were just on fire. So we had sandwiches. So I love Arby's, but it has gotten so pricey for what I can get for one sandwich. I can go over to my Albertsons and buy some roast beef and make 4 sandwiches or more. So I had some roast beef that I had in the freezer. I took that out to thaw, and then we had some cheese on there, and I toasted them in the Easy Bake Oven, and on the good, you know, keto buns. Yay, hooray for those. And then I had some Arby's sauce, and they sell it in a big jug. Here, I'll show you. So I bought this at the grocery store. They sell it over at my Albertsons. I've also seen it at the Kroger. And it's just the Arby's barbecue sauce. Now, of course, you can use any barbecue sauce that you want. But part of the appeal for me is the Arby's sauce. So I had this. They also sell the Arby's horseradish sauce, but I just had regular horseradish in the refrigerator. Anyhow, yeah, so it tasted just like Arby's, except meatier, cheesier, cheaper. Can't beat that with a darn stick. So that's what we had this weekend. We just had sandwiches, and you know, that's That's all I could muster up. But we ate. Everybody was full and happy and warm bellies and what have you. And I'm just waiting for this. I'm waiting for my chili chicken bake to come out of the oven. And it's got all the good smells. It's got, yeah. Anyhow, little cucumber to go with it. That'll be fantastic. And I'm almost cleaned up. Looks like I'm almost out of coffee, so I'll have to brew a new pot because we like to have a little bit of coffee after dinner. So, yeah, there's 1 cup in there for me. I'll go ahead and pour that off now and drink it. Make a new pot of coffee for after dinner. And, be ready. So, we're almost there. I'm ready. My belly's hitting my backbone. Okay, well, it just came out of the oven. It's all toasty and bubbly and delicious. I'm going to let this set for about 3 to 5 minutes just so it can mix and mingle, make some friends. Also, I wanted to show you, I don't know if you have seen this before. Have you seen this? It's Yucatan guacamole in an airlock technology squeeze bottle. Keeps it green up to 14 days. Now, Andrew and I, not super huge fans of the guacamole. We're trying to get more into our diet because, you know, it's got all the good omega-3s, yada, yada, yada. So we're trying to get more avocado into our life. I saw this and I thought, well, that's perfect for 2 people that it's going to take a while to get through. So I'm also going to garnish tonight's dinner with a little bit of this guacamole. And it really does keep it fresh. So you take this green part off. There's a safety seal. You remove that. Put the lid back on. And then you just give it a squeeze. Now this inside part right here, I do recommend that you take like a paper towel after you have had your servings and just kind of wipe that down, because any residual avocado that's in there on the outside of the, you know, airlock technology, that can get brown and kind of be gross. So yeah, just give that a little wipe off before you put it back in the refrigerator. But this is good. It comes in mild, medium, and spicy. My grocery store was out of everything except for the mild, so I can tell you that this is in fact very mild, but still delicious. So there we go. That was one of the new products I tried, and I did pay full price for that a few weeks back. Well, about 14 days back, to be honest. So yeah, it's almost 14 days old already. And it was like $5.99. So a little bit on the pricier side. But if you live somewhere where avocados are expensive anyhow, or off season, that is still a decent bargain. All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. Hot diggity. Andrew's hungry. I'm hungry. Hazel's almost beside herself. So she won't be enjoying this dish because, you know, it's a little bit spicy for a puppy. But she'll be having her dinner here shortly. And there we go. Those beans look really good. Those tortilla chips, they're nice and crispy. There's plenty of cheese action going on. If I was going to serve this to more people and needed to bulk it up, I would either add rice or maybe pasta if I needed to get some extra servings out of it. I'm sure you could use ground beef instead of shredded chicken. That's just what I had in the freezer, and I needed to move it on along. So let's go ahead and put some sour cream on there. And a good squeeze of guacamole. Hot diggity. Okay, well, I think that looks fantastic. That looks like dinner for us tonight. My lovelies, here's hoping that you are warm enough, safe enough, loved enough. Be good, be careful. Look both ways. I'll see you next time. See you next time. Bye now. Big old smooches and huge smooch-a-ronis. It's 7 days to your engagement. Yay, hooray. Cookie and Chris, I'm wishing you both every joy and happiness. Cookie Chris has been making me keep this a secret from you for a long time, and I'm busting at the seams, man. Anyhow, I love you both. Big old smooch-a-ronis, big squeezies, happy engagement, 7 days, yay, hooray. Hazel loves some post-dinner tug-of-war with her favorite blanket. She just really goes to it. What a good girl. Look at that smile.